Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we are going to be filming my July TBR. I'm very excited. There are a couple things going on in July actually. I get back from Egypt at the beginning of July and then I go straight into Summerween, which I'm very excited about. It's hosted by Gabby Reeds. If you don't know what Summerween is, I don't know how you don't, but I will leave a link to the announcement video in the description box down below so you can go and check it out. Very excited for Summerween. And then a week after I get home from Egypt, I'm going to London for the weekend on a hen do. And then I'm hoping actually for the rest of the month is pretty quiet. So it's a very busy beginning to the month, but I'm hoping to get to some really decent reads. I do have a couple stacks here next to me of books that I would like to get to. I have a couple of video projects in mind that I would like to do as well. So yeah, very excited about Summerween though. Very, very stoked for Summerween actually. So I have redone my prompt jar and put some new pink prompts in here now, redone it. I've taken inspiration from Laura's TBR jar actually and had a look through some of the prompts that she put in hers because she put them in a description box. So again, I'll leave a link to Laura and that video in the description box down below. Thanks Laura for the ideas, truly appreciate it. So we will be going through that, but first of all, we do have my Patreon jar. I'm nervous. Can't remember what's in here, but I am nervous about this one. If you didn't know, drivers and team principals, my top 2 tiers of Patreon, get to put a book in here and I try and read one every single month. So right now, at the point that I'm doing this, which is kind of earlier on in June that I would normally do, because I'm trying to pre-film before I go to Egypt, I haven't read June's book, so hopefully I will get the chance to do that before the end of the month. So let's just pick one of these and see what we get. I'm nervous. Nervous. What is this? I think that might be upside down this way. What does that say? The Sundown Motel from Zoe. Okay, so from Zoe, we do have the Sundown Motel. By Simone St. James. This has been on my TBR for so long. I think I actually got halfway through this at some point, put it down. I can't remember the reason why now, but I will have to start it again because it's been so long since I tried to read this. So I will have to start it again. 2020 this came out. It's been 5 years and I have the hardback, so I got it pretty early on. I do have the Book of Cold Cases as well. I don't know if it's necessarily a follow-on, but the covers are very similar, and I feel like you need to read this one before you can read that one. I don't know how true that is, but this is a horror. It's a ghost story, I believe. Something hasn't been right at the roadside Sundown Motel for a very long time, and Carly Kirk is about to find out why. Upstate New York, 1982. Viv Delaney wants to move to New York City and to help pay for it, she takes a job as a night clerk at the Sundown Motel in Fell, New York. But something isn't right at the motel, something haunting and scary. Upstate New York, 2017, Carly Kirk has never been able to let go of the story of her Aunt Viv, who mysteriously disappeared from the Sundown before she was born. Carly decides to move to Fell and visit the motel, where she quickly learns that nothing has changed since 1982, and she soon finds herself ensnared in the same mysteries that claimed her aunt. It does sound very interesting, and I do remember, I think you got a chapter from Viv, and then you got a chapter from Carly, if I remember correctly. So we've got alternating chapters. I don't know if there was necessarily a point in which you followed the same character for a portion of time. I think it was literally alternating chapters. Oh no, there's 2 chapters back to back there from Carly. So yeah, should be interesting. Thank you, Zoe, for that one. This will force me to go back to that because I've been meaning to do so and I can't bring myself to take it off my shelves because I was enjoying it. I think, I don't know if I got bored maybe, but we'll see. We'll find out. So thank you to Zoe for putting that on my TBR. Maybe I could read it for Summerween. We'll see whether or not I can make it fit. So let us get into these prompts. We'll see how much of Summerween I can get on, like the plans that I have for my Summerween TBR. And then I will let you know what I'm interested in reading for Summerween once we've done these. We will do 5, I think. I'll let you know. We usually end up doing 6. So that could be a lie. So let's see, what do we get? Let's just do one, please. What have we got? Is that upside down? Oh, a new release from the last 6 months. Okay, none of the books, I've got arcs here, but I don't think that they necessarily count as a new release because they're not out yet. They've not been released. So I want a new release that's come out in the last 6 months. Okay, I've made my decision. I want to get to this before summer's up, and I haven't had a chance to do so yet. And obviously, I mean, we've still got August as well, but I do want to make sure I try and get to this sooner rather than later. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I haven't picked it up yet, and I should have done by now. To be fair. So yeah, I want to pick this one up. I believe I've heard very mixed things about this. It does make me very anxious, and I think that's why I've been putting it off. So I need something to force me to pick it up. I believe that this is a little bit more literary than we're used to from Emily Henry, so that should be interesting. Also, I've heard, I don't know how true that is, but I've heard incredibly mixed things. When Margaret Ives, the famous recluse heiress, invites Alice to the balmy Little Crescent Island, Alice knows this is it, her big break. The catch? Pulitzer Prize-winning human thundercloud, Hayden is sure of the same thing, the proposal, a trial period to unearth the truth behind one of the most scandalous families of the 20th century, after which Margaret will choose who'll tell her story. The problem? Margaret is only giving each of them tantalising pieces they can't put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like Margaret's tale, could be a mystery, tragedy or love ballad, depending on who's telling it. Interesting. It's giving, what was that Ali Carter book? It's giving that vibe. Was it Ali Carter? Yeah, it's giving Most Wonderful Crime of the Year vibes. A little bit, ever so slightly. So yeah, that should be interesting. New release from the last 6 months. I feel like that'll be a good read for July, maybe. We'll see whether or not that was a mistake. All right, prompt number 2. Just one, please. What do we got? I don't know what that says. I can't see it. Can you see it? Oh. Highest rated on my Goodreads TBR. This could be a mistake. Okay. I have no idea what this is. Let me... Oh shit, I've just turned down my thing. Let me screen record so I can show you, and I'll shove up so that you can see. Right, let's go to want to read. I don't know how accurate this want to read is. I am trying to keep it updated, but I don't know if literally everything that is unread on my TBR is on here. So let's do average rating. I don't know if this is set for highest. Yes, it is. That is my highest rated, which is the Adventure Zone Volume 5. Should we have a caveat in that it can't be part of a series that I'm already partway through? Should we do that caveat? Should we carry on scrolling and see what else comes up? Because then I've got Solo Leveling Volume 9 and Volume 10, Dark Mirror by Samantha Shannon, Return of the King, Sunrise on the Reaping, Empire of the Damned. I am up to that one, actually. Monster Volume 2, Rewind It Back. Adventure Zone Volume 6. Oh, Small Talk, 10 ADHD Lies and How to Stop Believing Them. I think we should also put a caveat in that it has to have over 1,000 ratings as well, actually. Spy Family Volume 11. I need to take that off because I've DNF'd that series. Monster Volume 3, Spy Family Volume 8, Heart Song, Brother Song, God of Fury. A Kind of Spark by Elle McNichol. Okay, so do we do the caveat or do we not? Do I just do the highest rated? Am I up to Volume 5 of the Adventure Zone? I am up to Volume 5. Okay, you know what? We're going to do the Adventure Zone because it is my highest rated. Although it's part of a series, that is where I'm up to. And it is about time I got to it because I've been hesitating. I don't know why. I think it's because it's the chunkiest one in the series so far. Okay, so the Adventure Zone, The 11th Hour, Volume 5. is the highest rated on my Goodreads at the moment, which is interesting. This is chunkier than its siblings. I do have volume 6 on my TBR as well. I don't know if volume 7's out yet or if we're getting a volume 7. But it's about time I went back to this one. This is like a D&D campaign. It's obviously a graphic novel. It's like a D&D campaign, and we get like the dungeon master and everything. And it's done by this family, the McElroy family, who do, I believe, a podcast on D&D as well, called The Adventure Zone, I reckon. So yeah, it's about time I went back to this one. I do enjoy this series, so interesting. Highest rated on my TBR. Okay, prompt number 3. Let's do this one. What does that say? Oh, a number in the title. Okay, this is not going well for the books that I have stacked next to me. None of these have a number in the title. Right, this could take me a hot minute because I did not think this through in advance when I wrote this prompt. A number in the title. Okay, I tell a lie. I just had a quick look. It's because I don't physically own it. I'm going to go for The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. I am wanting to do a specific themed vlog that I may have mentioned in my spring TBR but didn't get to. So now I want to do it in my summer plans, reading plans. Last One at the Wedding. I have actually an arc of this on my Kindle, but I haven't picked it up yet, and I should have done because it came out a while ago. Last year it came out. So this one says, the guests are arriving and the celebrations are starting, but there's something strange about this wedding. Frank Satowski, maybe, hasn't seen his daughter Maggie in years, and it breaks his heart every day. So when she calls him out of the blue to tell him that she's getting married and he's invited, Frank is overjoyed. Maggie is marrying into one of the richest families in the country, and Frank finds himself overwhelmed by the social circle she now moves in. He'll do anything to reconnect though, and arrives at the New Hampshire estate ready to bond however he can with Maggie's in-laws. But as the wedding weekend gets underway, it becomes clear to Frank that although they have spared no expense, there's something strange about Maggie's fiancé, and maybe Frank shouldn't be celebrating just yet. Sounds great. I'm very excited about this one. It's obviously got the number 1 in the title as well. So for a number in the title, I'm going for Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. I don't have a physical copy of that, so I must remember that that is what I'm doing. So we're up to book number 4, prompt number 4. Let's do this one. Is that the right way around? Ooh, horror bingo. Okay, so I do this horror bingo board thing that is hosted by Sarah from Wicked Reading. I will leave a link to her in the description box down below and the announcement video for it. But it runs from, I think is it September through till like the beginning of September through till the end of August. If I remember correctly. I can't remember. So let me check what I still have left to read on here. I do have Bird Box by Josh Malerman, Family Business by Jonathan Sims, Deadline and This Delicious Death I'm hoping I will have read by the time the end of June has happened. Some of You Could Build a Nest In, and The Ballad of Black Tom. I am actually going to go for, because it's in my stack for Summerween, I'm going to go for Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I'm very excited to read this. I've seen the movie and really enjoyed it. So I now want to read the book. And I know that there's a second one called Mallory. So if I enjoy this, I can get to Mallory as well. I don't own it, but I could try and get to it. Most people dismissed the reports on the news, but they became too frequent. They became too real. And soon it was happening to people we knew. Then the internet died, the televisions and the radios went silent, the phones stopped ringing, and we couldn't look outside anymore. Josh Malerman's debut novel, Bird Box, is a terrifying psychological thriller that will haunt you long after reading. I've really enjoyed books from Josh Malerman before, so I'm very excited about this one. Loved Incidents Around the House and The House at the Bottom of the Lake, so very excited about this one. I think I'm really going to enjoy it, and I'm excited that I'm going back to his debut as well, because I do feel like that is great. So, and it ticks another book off of that TBR, because I do need to start getting that boxed off as well, ready for Horror Bingo, hopefully starting again in September. So yay for that. That gets a book on Summerween as well. So potentially the last prompt. I may do another one though, because hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, prompt number 5. I may do another one though, because I just have not got as many books on from this stack as I'd hoped I would. So let's see what we manage. What does that say? Oh, purple on the cover. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to go for another Summerween read. This has got pink and purple on the cover, but it's got purple on the cover. I did not specify that it had to be the whole cover. It's Horror Hotel by Victoria Fulton and Faith McLaren. This has been on my TBR for a while now. And it's a shorty patootie. It'll be good for Summerween, I think. So, when the YouTube famous ghost gang Chrissy, Chase, Emma and Kiki visit a haunted LA hotel notorious for tragedy to secretly film after dark, they expect it to just be like their previous paranormal hauntings, spooky enough to attract subscribers and ultimately harmless. But when they stumble upon something unexpected in a former room of gruesome serial killer, they quickly realise that they're in over their heads. Sometimes it's the dead who need our help and living we should fear. Sounds good. So it's got some mixed media in it, I think, this as well. Yeah, like some posts and stuff like that. So it sounds good. It's a shorty patootie. It shouldn't take me too long to get through. And it was gifted to me by Deb as well. Thank you, Deb, for sending me this one. I truly appreciate it. About time I got to it. So yeah, let's do another one. And just one more, I think. Let's go for this big one. I don't know what's on it, but let's go for it. An animal on the cover. Right, let me check through what I've got here. Okay, and something I do need to get to for Buzzwordathon and also for a non-fiction for the month as well is Jeremy Clarkson's Diddly Squat Till the Cows Come Home. It's got cows on the cover. They're illustrated, but it's got cows on the cover. So that's animals on the cover for me. I really enjoyed the first one in this series, which was just Diddly Squat, I think it was. Yeah, I've got the other, there's 2 more here, and there's a third one, fifth one, struggles, a 5th one coming out, Man's Best Friend, I think it is, probably about Sansa and Arya, the dogs. If you don't watch Jeremy Clarkson's Diddly Squat Farm TV series on Amazon, it's fantastic, and I love what he's doing for the agriculture and farming community. I think he's really helping the everyday man, you know, gain some more knowledge about the farming and agriculture community and how hard they work and things like that, and how the government and what we're doing to the planet is screwing them over massively. And I think it's really important that we try and support our farmers where we can. So I find these books very funny, very interesting, and it is time to read this one. I am picking this one for Buzzwordathon because it is punctuation in the title. Till the cows come home. I think punctuation is correct. So I'm going to pick this one up. Welcome back to Clarkson's farm. At the end of Jeremy's first year in the tractor driver's seat, Diddly Squat rewarded him with a profit of just £144. So while he's the first to admit that he's still only a trainee farmer, there is clearly still work to be done, because while he's mastered the art of moaning about nearly everything, some of the other attributes required of a successful farmer prove more challenging. Who knew, for instance, that loading a grain trailer was more demanding than flying an Apache gunship? That cows were more dangerous than motor racing, or that it would have been easier to get planning permission to build a nuclear power station than to turn an old barn into a farm restaurant. But if the council planning department and the local Red Trouser Brigade seemed determined to frustrate his schemes at every turn, at least he's got Lisa, Caleb, cheerful Charlie and Gerald, his dry stonewalling head of security, to see him through, and a cold beer brewed with spring barley harvested from Diddly Squat's own fields. Life on Clarkson's farm may not always go according to plan. There may not always be one, but there's not a day goes by where Jeremy can't say, I've done a thing and mean it. I'm excited to give this a read. It's so good. Look at the illustrations. So yeah, I'm going to pick this one for an animal on the cover. I'm glad that I've managed to get that on, actually. That does tick off 2 things for me as well, Buzzwordathon and my non-fiction prompt for the month as well, because I do need a non-fiction. I don't have a translated fiction on there so far, so I should probably pick a translated fiction book to pick up. I may just pick one up later in the month. So let me tell you about a couple of arcs that I have and then go through my Summerween TBR as the last thing that I'm going to do. So I do have 3 arcs for the month. That's the wrong tab. Only 2 of which I physically own, and then the other 2 the other one, sorry, is on my Kindle. So I do have The Reaper by Jackson P. Brown, which comes out on the 10th of July, which I'm very excited about reading. This one does say, Del Rey's biggest debut of 2025, The Reaper is a pacey political ride through the underground fantasy world of London. Showcases modern Black British culture from a millennial perspective and also explores the issues of class inequality, racism, xenophobia, and the problematic nature of the British government. Ooh, Amy is an empath able to sense the auras of the supernatural creatures that stalk London at night, but sorely lacking its knowledge, she spends night after night searching for answers. Gerald is a Reaper, a weapon for hire, on the verge of his awakening, of coming into his power and becoming the man his family needs him to be, the man they demand him to be. When Amy stumbles onto Gerald one night, she notices his strange aura unlike anything she's seen before, and so, against her better judgment, she helps him. In thanks, he makes her an offer she can't refuse, become his partner, and he will introduce her to a world she has only ever felt the shallow surface of the underworld. And their first mission together, find a girl who's vanished into thin air. Sounds great. I'm very excited about this one. It sounds really good. So thank you to Del Rey for sending me that one. 10th of July that comes out. So I do want to get to that one. I also, from Del Rey, have Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen, I get that wrong every single time. This does come out on the 24th of July. And the synopsis for this one: 2 decades ago, the Blood Moons ruthlessly murdered Saf's parents, destroying her idyllic childhood. Hell-bent on revenge, she lied her way into the elite Silver Cloak Academy of Detectives with a single goal: find a way to bring the Blood Moons to justice. But on the eve of her graduation, her deception is exposed and she's given only one option: go undercover and tear the Blood Moons down from the inside. I love an uprising like that. Descending into a world where pleasure and pain are most powerful currencies, Saf must commit some truly heinous deeds to keep her cover and her life, but rival gangs are the least of Saf's problems as she's forced to face her growing feelings for the Kingpin's tortured son. When one false step could destroy everything and everyone she's ever loved, the maid who dedicated her life to vengeance might just have to die for it. I'm very excited about this one. Thank you again to Del Rey for sending me this one. And then the last arc that I do have for the month of July is Thorns and Fire by Helen Scheurer, which is book 2 in the Ashes of Thesmar series. I'm not going to give you the synopsis for this one because it is book 2 in a series, so I don't want to spoil anybody with it, but it follows Ren and Torge Elderbrock. And Ren is an alchemist, but she's also kind of becoming more of a warrior, if you like. And Torge Elderbrock is a war sword, and these two just bicker all the time. It's very much so enemies to lovers. And I really enjoyed the first one. I gave it 4 stars. But I would highly recommend reading the Legend of Thesmar series before picking up Ashes of Thesmar, because Ren and Torge's story starts in the Legend of Thesmar series. So I would highly recommend doing that. Not only that, but it's a fantastic quartet. So, you know, why would you not pick it up? So yeah, that is the last arc that I have that comes out on the 31st of July. So those are my July arcs that I would like to get to in July if I don't get to them before. We will see whether or not that happens. And then just a couple of books that I have on my radar for Summerween on top of the books I've already pulled. I do have 3 volumes of Dracula the Midnight Children that I could continue on with. So right now I have 2, 3 and 4. That could change. I might pick one of these up before I go away on holiday for one reason or another. So they are possibilities for Summerween. I feel like they'll be good Summerween books. The other prompt for Buzzwordathon, the cover challenge, is technology on the cover, and I've decided to go for How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive by Craig DeLuey. This is technology of some sort, so it's a film real thing. So I'm going to read this one, I think, for Summerween. Sorry, I completely blanked there. My brain wouldn't stop telling me Buzzwordathon and I knew that wasn't correct. It is correct, but that's not where I was going. For Summerween, I feel like this will be a fun, silly, goofy time and a very quick read. So I'm planning on reading that for Summerween as well, hopefully. And then I do have 4 volumes of The Summer Hikari Died, which is perfect for Summerween. This is a horror manga, so these colours are stunning and I'm literally obsessed. Again, I may only have like 2 or 3 of these volumes, not all 4, by the time Summerween comes around for one reason or another. So yeah, those are some other options for me for Summerween. But I do now have, you know, 3 books on my TBR that I could read for Summerween, which is great. So this is my TBR for the month of July. We've got The Sundown Motel, which Zoe has picked for me from my TBR jar. We have got Great Big Beautiful Life for a book that came out in the last 6 months. We've got The Adventure Zone, volume 5 for highest rated on Goodreads. We've got Bird Box by Josh Malerman for Horror Bingo TBR. We've got Horror Hotel for a purple cover. We've got Clarkson's Farm, Diddley Squat, Till the Cows come home. Till the Cows Come Home struggles for an animal on the cover. And then I've got The Reaper and Silver Cloak. Is that upside down? Why? How bizarre is that printing? Anyway, we've got Silver Cloak and The Reaper and Thorns and Fire for ARCs as well. So I feel like this is a good stack. Bird Box, Horror Hotel and Sundown Motel could all be done within the first like week / second week of the month for Summerween. So I feel like this is a good stack to be having. I might be able to get some decent mood reading in here, which is good because I do have a... Oh, I also have a number in the title with... I knew I would forget that because I can't see it. Object permanence is horrific for me. Last One at the Wedding by Jason Wakulak. I do have a video project I would like to do for that one. So hopefully I get the chance to do that. But yeah, I feel like this TBR isn't too bad. Very excited about Summerween. Let me know in the comments down below if you're taking part or if you're planning on doing anything else in the month of July. What are you excited about reading? I did have a quick look-see, and for the most part, the new releases that I'm getting, I either have them in ARC copy or I might not get to them straight away for one reason or another. I might do. Who knows? I've been doing it a lot more recently. So yeah. Let me know in the comments down below what you're planning on reading in July. You're taking part in Summerween, let me know. And I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.